The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a consumer watchdog agency created by Congress, is in a turbulent time. This week, the Trump administration said in a court filing it intends to keep the CFPB, but make it more efficient. This comes after the Bureau's acting director halted much of their activity. Whatever happens, there is another option for people looking for help fighting big banks and lenders, and you might not know about this. The North Carolina Office of the Commissioner of Banks. I spoke with the banking commissioner about what you should know. Commissioner, thank you so much, first of all, for being here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Given the recent developments with the CFPB, what should consumers in North Carolina know about how they can get help at the state level?
That's a great question. I know we've all had a lot of focus and attention on what's going on at the federal level, but the state government is still here for the citizens of North Carolina. So my office will take and process consumer complaints regarding the industries that we supervise, which is primarily banks, trust companies, mortgage lenders and servicers, consumer finance lenders, and a variety of other financial service products. There's a couple of other state agencies in the state. Most notably, the Department of Justice runs the Consumer Protection Group. I've been in contact with them since this has all happened, since the news has broken around what's happening at the FPB. They will deal with quite a few complaints there as well. So consumers in North Carolina aren't left without any options just because of what's happening in Washington.
I'm sure that is a relief to so many people. I'm curious, has there been a change in the volume of complaints to the NCCOB in recent weeks?
So surprisingly, no. I checked our complaint numbers and we are tracking with prior years. Typically, complaints will escalate when there is economic dislocation, and that hasn't started at this point. That is not something that we're facing here in our state. We have had some complaints regarding issues with the hurricane arising out in Western North Carolina, and we've tried to triage those and push them to the top. But we haven't seen an uptick in any specific type of complaints. It seems to be business as usual right now.
I'm curious, what percentage of cases that filter through the NCCOB, through your office, actually get resolved?
So we have a 100% response rate. My office will respond to all complaints received within 7 business days. We don't track the numbers in terms of consumer satisfaction for resolution. Sometimes these issues will result in litigation, and at that point, we will step back from whatever the issue is.
Yeah, exactly. So you're really the facilitator here. Now, I know at the federal level, a lot of the complaints will get reviewed and kind of considered by the team with the CFPB to look at potential policy changes. I'm curious how, if at all, complaints at the state level may help inform state policy, and if there are any examples of this, if you could let us know.
Yeah, the General Assembly will set our state policy. So my main goal is to execute on the will of the General Assembly. Sometimes there will be issues that percolate through the complaints process, things that we may not be aware of directly. Solar lending, for example, has become a hot topic lately. Extensive card fees and account fees has been an issue. Another prime example, appraisal bias comes up from time to time, where home lending, home mortgage appraisals aren't coming in at expected levels. I mean, we can look in the data to see, is that a one-off situation, or is that a more prevalent concern?
So you can file a complaint by going to nccob.nc.gov. The Commissioner of Banks will get more into your options with me to fight big banks, lenders, and more on Saturday's episode of On the Record.